Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I invite my friend Komal, who was the recruitment coordinator at BlackBerry. And today I want she to share her experience there. Hopefully it can be helpful for you if you want to looking for jobs at BlackBerry or if you're interested in recruiter and HR. So thanks Komal. Can you please introduce yourself first?
Yeah, thanks Andy. I'm Komal. I am a current MBA student at McMaster University. Prior to that, I worked in talent acquisition with a tech startup for about 3 years before starting my MBA. So talent acquisition and more human resources and people-oriented careers has always been one of my greater interests since college. So it was really nice to have my first co-op as part of my MBA program at BlackBerry in their campus recruitment team. I've worked more as an external recruiter in the past, so seeing how internally recruitment is managed at these larger companies was definitely a great learning experience.
Great, thank you so much. So would you mind just tell us more about your day-to-day look like for your last co-op at BlackBerry?
Yeah. So we were a team of 3, including my manager. So we were responsible for conducting the hiring for the next co-op term. So there are over 150 different roles that we were recruiting for in different divisions. And my particular division was all the IT roles, mainly software engineering related, that were based in their Ottawa location. And there were about, I would say, anywhere from 40 to 50 roles that I was recruiting for at one time. And my day-to-day would essentially be you log into Workday, that's the system they use, look at all the jobs that are still open and screen candidates based on qualifications that are coming in. And you would send about 10 to 15 resumes to the manager in the system itself and wait for them to review and also schedule the interviews accordingly and essentially coordinate the whole process to the hiring stage throughout, and then everything would be tracked in an Excel.
Great. So I think there's a lot of positions opening in BlackBerry because you mentioned like 150. Yeah, great. So it's a great opportunity for anyone who is interested in BlackBerry.
Yeah, especially for co-op and internships, they have a very solid program, and it's not just IT roles, accounting and finance, HR, marketing.
Yeah. So I think we should mention this one first, but would you mind give us a quick background for BlackBerry, in case someone don't know?
Yeah, definitely. So I think a lot of people still associate BlackBerry as that phone company that is no longer relevant. But a lot of people don't know that they have pivoted very successfully in the last couple of years to more cybersecurity focused. So they provide their systems are very integral to a lot of the automotive industry. So in our cars, any smart systems that are available, security related systems that are available are mostly powered by BlackBerry. So they have definitely pivoted towards that area. So they have different product lines. One of them that is the most popular one is the QNX product line.
Yeah, and I think most important for us, because BlackBerry is a Canadian company, it's where we are right now here.
Yeah.
I know for BlackBerry they have 2 or 3 offices.
Yes.
Can you just explain that one?
Yes. So their main office is in Waterloo. So that's where any HR role reports to that office. Most of the IT roles are based in their Ottawa office because a lot of their QNX development and testing and everything happens in Ottawa. And then you have your accounting and finance, marketing roles. There's an office in Mississauga. So between Mississauga and Waterloo office, a lot of the non-IT roles are in those offices.
Okay. Yeah, great. Okay, so next question would be, what kind of skills are necessary for your role if someone wants to apply for the recruitment role at BlackBerry?
I think the 3 most important skills will be your communication, organization, and problem solving, because your communication is very important when you are dealing with different stakeholders. You're talking to candidates, you are talking to your own internal team, and you are managing expectations with managers. You'll get managers across the board. Some are trying to, get a student last minute but there are different processes in place that you need to follow and procedures in place. So it's very important to understand how you should be conducting yourself and how you should be communicating the information. And with that also comes the problem solving aspect, because with recruitment there are challenges that you face. A candidate might be frustrated if it's taking longer, or a manager might be frustrated if they're not getting the right candidate. So it's important to be able to understand how to manage those situations and think on your feet essentially. And then the organization is also absolutely critical in this role, because again, you're recruiting for 50 roles at one time, so many different candidates, you're getting out offer letters, background checks, interviews. It's really important to be able to track which candidate is in which status, so that you're able to process and better understand what needs to be done for each role.
Yeah, great. Thanks. So next question will be, is there any kind of interview questions you can share with people when you got the interview?
Yeah.
Or so maybe I think those questions can be across all the kind of HR interviews.
Yeah. So a lot of the questions are more soft skills focused. So tell me about a time when you ran into a challenge, or something to do with your communication skills. How do you manage your time? How do you keep yourself organized? Why are you interested in this in this role? Again, a lot of it's a mixed batch. You don't necessarily need a recruitment background to be able to do this role. That's why it's a coordinator position. So if you are pivoting into a different industry, being able to effectively make the case of why you want to explore this is important. Very straightforward process. 30 minutes with your first manager, and you may have another interview with their manager as well as a second round, just as a final decision.
Back to your experience with BlackBerry, is there anything you like or probably dislike you can share with us?
Yeah, so I really liked how nurturing the team is. So you talk to your manager, and your manager clearly knows that you're an intern, and they are the ones who encourage you to make the most of your internship. So for me, that meant I wanted to explore the other functions as well within HR, not just recruitment. So I was able to network and organize coffee chats with directors of other teams, like the the training and development team that does a lot of the educational materials. I had coffee chats with the marketing team. One of the managers was based in France, and I was talking to her, just reached out, and everyone's very responsive. So I like that nurturing environment. In addition to that, there are a lot of access to learning tools. So you have free access to Udemy courses throughout your term.
That's good.
Yeah, so you can definitely explore whichever skills you want. They also have these weekly or bi-weekly training sessions where they do these 1-hour workshops during your lunch hour, talking about key skills like how to negotiate better, or how to improve your communication skills, etc. So there are a series of different topics that are covered, and you can essentially register for any that you find would be useful for your professional growth. There are also these fireside chats that happen, which I really enjoyed during my term, where there is a C-suite member who comes and essentially gives a talk about their experience. So we had the VP of marketing talk to us and share how they got to where they are and how they have seen the company transition. So that is again another opportunity for you to really network and understand the different functionalities within the team. So I really like that. For me personally, my team I found was very nice, because we used to have Wednesdays, we used to get an additional hour called the wellness hour, where we can do anything from 2 to 3.
It's great.
Yeah, you can nap, you can go on a walk, you can do whatever except for being online. So even our managers would not be online.
Okay.
So they really value that work-life balance. In terms of what I disliked, one thing I didn't like about my particular role, I would say, is that it felt more entry level for me, because I already brought a recruiting background. So for me it felt like I had to push to find how I can add more meaning to my experience.
Yeah.
So I took on more projects and things like that just to compensate for that aspect. So that really taught me that if you are looking at a role, don't look at it just for the comfort of it. You need to also look for that challenge.
Yeah, I think for interns, we always want to find the opportunity to learn during our time there.
Exactly.
So try to find challenging projects, talk to different people, networking, gain something after you leave the company.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes your role is not made as fulfilling.
Yeah, I know.
So at that point, you have two decisions. Either you just continue doing what you have to do and call it a day, or actually, like you said, seek that learning and find other avenues. But for that, you would need to be proactive.
Yeah, so find other projects too.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
because your manager will assign you something, but you can still ask for more.
Yeah, like I work with a different team on one project.
Yeah, that's good.
So they allow that. As long as you're doing your own job, you can diversify and work on other things as well if that's something you are interested in exploring.
Any kind of last tip you want to share with people who want to maybe apply for BlackBerry or interested in this company?
Yeah, definitely. I would say really focus on making sure that your resume is very structured. It's very helpful to ensure that any job that you're applying to, when you read the job description, if there are specific tools and technologies that are mentioned, that you're able to integrate your understanding, if you have an understanding of those technologies, in your resume. Cover letter is not really required, so if it's not required, you don't have to submit it. Just a resume is fine. In terms of other tips, again, networking, I think a lot of you will hear, is very valuable. If you're networking with one person, ask them to recommend you and connect you with someone else in their team or the team that you may be interested in. Because if there's more word of mouth within the company's employees, then there is more strength to your referral versus you just reaching out randomly being like, yeah, let's talk to this person and that person, and both of them don't know that you talk to both of these people. So try to build like connectivity when you're talking to people and networking. But for BlackBerry, I would say it's not needed to network as much. It's really about positioning yourself strongly in your resume, because that's the first thing that will be looked at by the recruiters.
Yeah, great. All right, that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
This was fun.
You just remember to like the video, so if like our chatting today, so I can invite Komal next time.
Sounds good. Thank you, Andy.
No problem. That's it.
Bye.
Bye, guys.